This is actually my second time speaking at a Moms Impact Action Group, so I'm very fortunate that I'm able to actually speak on these issues. And I'm Singh Mago. I'm from the Sikh Religious Society of Chicago, and this is actually a very personal issue for me. A large part of how I was brought up was shaped around gun violence. When I was 3.5 months old, I never got a chance to meet my grandfather on my mom's side. He lived in England, so they do have better gun laws than we do, so it can affect anybody, anywhere. But he owned a shop, and he had an intruder come into his shop that tried to rob his cash box. And he made a move to alert the authorities. There was a panic button that he could get from the cops, and he was shot in the face with his jaw outside of the shot. Now, I'm speaking for my mother. She's read my speech, so she approved everything that I wrote. And I'm speaking for my grandmother, and I'm speaking for my uncles, particularly my uncle who had to actually identify my grandfather's body. It was a closed casket, and these are uncomfortable truths that many families live with. It's hard for me to even talk about it. I didn't even meet my grandfather. I was robbed of the ability to meet my grandfather. Luckily got a chance to see a picture of me. So when I really want to talk about this issue, I want to talk about my upbringing, why I'm here. And one thing in particular that stood out to me was when all my friends were playing with super soakers, my mom said no. She absolutely said no. And I used to get annoyed by that. And I used to think, why can't I play with all these toy guns? Why can't I play with these super soakers with my friends and just be like a normal kid, you know? And then I started getting perspective when I got older. As hard as it is for my mom to see me with a toy gun, it would be even harder for her to see her son, her only son, with a real gun in his hand. And her thought process was she did not want to know what I said. And honestly, she's right. What we have created is a culture of normalizing gun violence. We have created a culture that just makes it as a footnote that kids are dying. This is the 6th anniversary of babies dying, and we literally have to be their voice because they don't have one. The issue with guns is very simple on the macro level. We have too many of them. That's just simple statistics. I think many are careful to not want to discuss the Second Amendment and the rights it bestows on Americans, but do they actually look at the wording of the Second Amendment in order to maintain a well-regulated militia? The right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Do people actually think that regulation is not a part of that? Common sense laws should not be included in that. The truth is that gun rights were always meant to have regulations, but when corporate interests such as the NRA is given inordinate amount of power with their corporate PAC donations to these politicians, they're not donations, those are buy-offs. And the truth of the matter is that we have a system full of buy-offs that includes not just NRA dollars, it includes big pharma dollars, and all of these things are all interconnected. They talk about all of these things like, for example, healthcare. They talk about mental illness. But the truth of the matter is that people who are mentally ill are 11 times more likely to be victims of violence rather than perpetrators of violence. And if they actually do care about that, then our politicians would care about Medicare for all. It just makes sense, right? So they don't care about that. What they care about is maintaining power. They care about maintaining power at our expense, at the expense of our children. And one other aspect that I wanted to throw out there is that children in America who simply have a gun in their home are 11 times more likely to be a victim of gun violence or die of gun violence than children in developing countries. I'm not even comparing them to children in America who don't have guns in the homes. Children in developing countries We are the richest country in the history of the world. Does that mean anything if we don't take care of our own citizens? Now, Sikhism, as some of you might know, is not exactly a turn-the-other-cheek religion. We do believe in self-defense. We do believe in the defense of others. We also believe in facts. And the fact is, I actually am less safe with a gun than I am without even having one. My nieces and nephew, I don't have any children, but my nieces and nephew are less safe simply if I make that choice for them that I'm going to have a gun in the house. And there's some impracticalities of the aspect of, will that gun actually save me in a battle? Because when you look at a home intruder situation, if you're a responsible gun owner, you will have that gun in a lockbox. Is that intruder going to wait for you to go into that lockbox, take that gun out, and then you're on equal footing with him?
Nope.
Absolutely not. So the truth of the matter is, you can't attack it on an anecdotal micro level. You have to attack it on a macro level, on a large-scale statistical model. And you have to realize that we have 330 million people in America. We have 390 million guns. Number 2 on that list is Yemen. Yemen has about 28 million people. They have about 15 million guns. 390 million is the most private gun ownership in the world. 15 million is the second most private gun ownership in the world. So when we actually look at those facts, we actually look at those numbers, it's, I know I'm taking a little bit too much time, but these are important facts. And I will get to the point, this is all very important. Because these are the things that people don't want to hear. They don't want this to be said, but it is the truth. We are allowing it when we allow ourselves to vote for politicians that will accept corporate PAC money. They do not represent us, they represent the corporations. And so many will speak about those health concerns, they don't really mean it. And the thing that keeps me going in this fight, something I mentioned in my last speech, was the activism from our young people, in particular, the activism from the Parkland High School victims, survivors, I should say. And I'm very grateful to them because they lent a voice to the voiceless. They lent a voice to these babies, these 6-year-olds that we are commemorating today, the 6-year anniversary of their deaths. They lent a voice to the entire nation, and they gave us a chance to actually realize what is possible. Thank you. God bless you.